2 gigs. Yeah, give it 2 gigs. No, you know, don't even worry about it. Just do slash.
Hey, do you mind sending those commands to
Yeah.
the chat? Because I have to restore my freaking virtual machine.
Okay, yeah. What'd you do to your virtual machine now?
No, it was working. I swear to God. Then it stopped working for some reason. That's weird.
All right. So fdisk minus L is a great utility. It'll show you what disks you have attached. I don't know what a loop is. 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 But I'm guessing those are some kind of RAM disk. So the
yeah, I have 9 of them. 10.
What are you doing, buddy? Are you gonna reboot you? Come on. I don't. I mean, you can't. I don't.
VirtualBox is what taught me the importance of taking snapshots.
Huh?
VirtualBox is what taught me the importance of taking snapshots.
Why?
Because more often when I've been using VirtualBox, my machines will fail for some reason. So I learned to start taking snapshots so I wouldn't have to keep starting from 0 every time something died.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But in an ESXi, you better watch out with them snapshots. They grow big and fast.
Yeah, I know. That's why my cybersecurity club uses ESXi. So the rule is don't keep your snapshots around. Same on AWS. Amazon machine images can grow as well.
Ah, shit. I went to international market and got these weird things. I don't know what the hell they are. There's no English at all on it, but it's like sesame seed cookies of different flavors.
That sounds awesome.
All right.
I loved going to Chinatown and just buying whatever random stuff looked good, and then figuring out what it was later.
All right. So there we go. So there's SDA. So that's the disk with my Ubuntu installation on it. And then this is SDB. This is the new clean disk that we're going to put LFS on. And so we found that by running fdisk minus L. Mike, you've been awfully quiet.
No, I had you on mute because there was some barking in the background. But pretty much, did you guys make dir swap file on the root or no?
Oh, give me 1 second. It deleted one of my file systems.
Whoops.
Did you guys make any directories or just ran fdisk minus L?
Yeah, no, we just ran fdisk minus L, and that showed us our disk. So
Yeah,
now we know that we want this one that doesn't have any partition.
How'd you know it doesn't have any partition?
All right. So see, it cuts off at the I/O size.
So if I had a partition, there will be more information.
Yeah, so like that one. See, it's got the 2 partitions on it.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. I added a second hard drive. No.
All right. So
So
this
that command that you just ran, Teal, that is to create a partition.
yeah, it's your disk management system.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So M. It tells you the first thing you do. Command M for help. All right. So the first thing we want to do is we want to list partitions. Print the partition table. P. All right. So you see, there's nothing there, no partition. So we want to create a new one. All right. Let's actually do this. All right. Let's do this right. We're gonna make one. Our first one is gonna be, isn't it C? No. Add a new partition. N. New. This must be a new version of FDisk. I don't recognize any of these these shortcuts. So this is, do y'all know the difference between a primary partition and an extended partition?
No. How do you get to that? How do you get to that menu?
Which one?
The device does not contain a recognized partition table, the one you're looking at on the screen.
Device doesn't contain, oh, yeah. Here, let's quit out of this. Control C, Q. All right, so I did my fdisk minus L to find which of my disks doesn't have any partitions, right? So this one doesn't have any partition. Right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and grab that. So and /dev is devfs, and /dev sdb is a pseudo file that's put there by the driver for your SATA disk or your
Yeah.
SCSI. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna say fdisk space that device. Welcome to the utility, right? So it straight up tells you here, just press M for help. Always the first thing you should do, right?
Okay,
and
I'm
always, when you're working on any kind of volume of anything, before you do anything, always run the print command. I don't care if you're like 100% sure of what disk you're on. P, right? So this tells us our disk. It shows us what it is, but there's no partitions, right? So
Yep.
we're going to add a new partition. So we're going to push N, right? And we want it to be a primary partition, right? So the first 4 partitions can be primary. So we're using MBR, right? Which is the older disk format. Everything's easier and simpler. If you want to do GPT, use parted. I'm wondering who that is that just dropped off and on. And then anything after the first 4, so you can see 0 primary, 4 free. Everything after the first 4 is an extended partition.
yes.
So we're going to set this for a primary. We don't ever have to worry about extended in anything we're going to do. All right, and we're going to do 1. The first sector, we're going to go with that default 2048 because, as we know, the first 2048 on your volume is where your boot sector is. So after that is that's why it defaults to 2048. So we're going to go with that as our default. And then the last sector, we're going to say plus 2 gig, 2G. Right? So that was a 2 gigabit, jiggy bit. All right, so that's going to be /boot. And then second, let's do our swap. We want, 4 gigs of swap? Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to say new, primary, default 2, first sector, default 4196352. And then we're going to say we want this to be 4 plus 4G. All right, so it made that. All right, so if I hit P, you see it's got the 2 partitions on there.
It's okay. I must have messed up making mine 4 gigabytes. It says it's 3.7 gigabytes. Is that okay?
Wait, whoa. You just went.
Okay. Here, how about I share my screen?
Okay.
Oh crap!
What?
All right, so when I tried to create the swap drive, it says value out of range.
What was your value?
Well, the default is 2. Wait. Okay, so after the partition number, which I put default is 2, it says first sector. And I put plus 4G, and then it says value out of range.
Go with the default. Always go to the default for first sector.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
And then the next one is the last sector, and that's when you say you're plus 4G.
All right, question. I don't know what this means. First sector, last sector. These are like if I imagine an array, the first and last items of an array or something.
Yeah, so the sector size is 512 bytes.
Got it.
And so they're sector numbered. So the first sector 4169352 is the ID number, and that it spans all the way to sector 629145559. And so what it is remember I was telling you about a block, right?
Yeah.
A block of bits. Well, that block of bits is split up into sectors of 512 bytes based on this. Maddie, weren't you going to share your screen?
Oh no, I figured out what went wrong and I'm fixing.
Oh, okay. All right, so is everybody got
So far,
this?
so good.
All right, and so now we got to make root partition, right? So we're going to make our third partition. It's the new primary. We're going to say our default 3. The first sector, we're going to go with the default there. And so we want this one to just take up the rest of the disk. So the last sector, we're just going to go with the default, which is the last sector. Comprende? And boom. So now if I print it, you see I've got my 3 sectors there.
What's the size of the third sector?
So I started on the default and I end it on the default. So it just takes up the rest of the disk.
Okay, cool, got it.
Yep. All right, and now we gotta set the.
Sorry, Teal. All right, so I press print. I'm trying to confirm that I have 2 partitions. That's what you were doing, right?
You should have 3.
Well, I haven't created the other one yet.
Oh.
So let me just create the other one real quick. So new, primary, which I don't know the difference to be honest. All right, number 3, first sector, last sector. Did you add any?
I did that as the default, so it'll take up the rest of the disk.
Okay, got it. Now let me hit print. All right, yeah, I got 3. I got 3 too. Okay. Now question. All right, primary. I heard of primary. In my head, I thought it was like one disk would be primary over the other, so apparently not.
This is within a disk, right?
Got it.
So we're using MBR, which is the older form of doing this.
Yeah.
And they make it so you have 4 primary sectors, right? But then that 4th one will actually get split up into other ones, and those are your logical partitions, and they call those your extended partitions. That way you can have more than the 4 partitions.
Got it. Now we created a swap. We created
boot, we created swap, and we created our slash in that order.
Got it. Okay, cool.
All right, so now we gotta set. So you see the ID, the second to last column on these partitions. It says 83. So let's go into our menu and we're gonna say list known partition types. So that's L, right? So I usually do ext2 for the slash boot. So let's see, do we see that here? Well, actually, it would just be Linux for that one. So that would be what, 83? 83, yeah. So we'll leave that one alone. And then so the second one is swap, which is 82, right? Wasn't there one that's just swap? Yeah, so 82, so P, so we need change a partition type. So T, we're gonna change the type of number 2 to 82. All right. So you see now we've got 83, so that's our Linux. 83, that's our swap. 83, that's our Linux. Everybody got that?
Yep.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of lost track. So I created my three partitions. The next command that you use, was T.
Well, L to list the types of partitions, right?
Okay.
Like if you're working with a thumb drive that you want to be compatible with like Windows, you would use something like NTFS.
Got it. Oh wow, there's so many.
Or FAT16.
I'm only familiar with a few. So I'm familiar with FAT32 and then NTFS and then So which ones were you using?
Where's Win95 that's not hidden? Yeah. So Win95, so this one right here is what you would use for a thumb drive that's compatible across systems. But whatever. So we're going to use ext2 and ext3. So we want that to be a Linux partition, a Linux type.
Yeah.
Our middle one is swap. So we want Linux swap, which is 82.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
So all right. So the T command
is so you can change it.
Okay, so I'm gonna change it to the second one because the second one is our swap drive.
Yep.
Okay, and then the number 82. Well, give me a second. Let me verify on mine. Okay, yeah, 82 is swap. Okay, 82. And that's it.
Thanks again for going over all this. I gotta take off.
Oh, you gone? All right. Well,
I have no choice. I would love to stick around, but I have other stuff going on that just came up. So take it easy.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right. So, but now everybody here is on the same page. JB.
Yeah.
You still ain't installed that Ubuntu yet? Damn. Well, we're out of lecture now. We're actually building the system.
What kind of you using VirtualBox? What is it doing? Like crashing on you? Is it crashing or something? Oh, I see what you're saying.
And then today you deleted the wrong volume, didn't you?
Happened to me too.
It's all too easy.
All right. Yeah, that's why you always print before you start. All right. So now the final step in the FDisk process is you need to write the changes. So, and that's W, right? W. Write table to disk and exit. Boom. Right? So the next time we say fdisk -L, we'll see our 3 partitions.
Nice.
Question. So what we did hasn't been committed yet, and that's why we need to use the W command.
Yes.
Okay, so right now it's just kind of like staged changes, or
When you're working with volumes, the last thing you want to do is give somebody the ability to just be able to do things without staging it.
got it. All right, hang on a sec. Let me do W. Cool. I sure, yeah, I got the same message as you. So cool, cool.
So generally, the recommended size of the swap partition. Can we get somebody new in here? Is about twice the amount of physical RAM. So if you get 4 gigs, do 8 gigs. But I mean, nowadays we've got people with like I saw that machine on eBay the other day. This thing, look at this. Like, I totally want it. Get out of here. Get out of here. How do we get rid of this? Fucking go.
Ruin your life.
No. Anyways, but look at it. It's a quad deca core. So that's 40 cores and a terabyte of RAM.
Amazing.
I know. And it's free local pickup, not too far. It doesn't even have rails. What the hell? Yeah, that would be such an awesome machine to have. There are a couple video cards in there that'll run my whole office. And what I could do is I can get one of them 16 multipliers with the caddy and just have like external graphics cards and do like a whole different a second chassis full of graphics cards. And then I'll just make a room that's all monitors. That'll be the command center. Dreams. All right. What happened? Oh yeah. Stupid Edge. I've been using it a lot.
For shame, Microsoft. For shame.
Huh?
For shame, Microsoft.
Why?
Edge not cooperating.
Oh. Well, I mean, it matches their MO.
Yeah, I know.
Did you suspend the desk? Get ready to kind of Oh, what? Disk space limit, hold swap. If you want to use the hibernation feature, it writes out the content of RAM to the swap partition before turning off the machine. In this case, the size of the swap partition should be at least as large as the system's RAM. Now, this is the most important thing you should ever know. Swapping is never good, right? So when you run, when your memory gets to 100%, and then it has to start moving stuff over into your swap file. Just remember, the memory is on the same bus, or is directly attached to the CPU, whereas a disk has to go through the disks, the onboard controller, the disk controller, the whatever interfaces it to the CPU, and then the CPU. So that adds a whole bunch of latency. So the moment something has to start swapping is the moment your stuff grinds to a halt. It'll still work. It'll just take a long time, but at least it won't die. Now, if you use up your RAM and then you fill up your swap, then Linux has a thing called the OOM daemon that'll just start killing all your stuff. And OOM is out of memory. And it just comes, it looks for the thing that takes the most memory, and it's like, you, bye. Okay, so,
well, that's no bueno.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen on production systems. It's not funny. And it's
No, that's scary, bro. It'll make me cry like a little baby.
The murder demon.
Maybe.
But there are
For
other
SSO, for mechanical hard drives, you can generally tell if the system is swapping by just listening to disk activity and observing how the system reacts to commands.
Yeah.
For an SSD drive, you will not be able to hear swapping, but you can tell how much swap space is being used on the top of a free program. Y'all, we're gonna go a little sidetrack here. I'm gonna tell you about how programs within Linux talk to a disk, because when you write a file, it's not going directly to the disk. In fact,
So while something is false,
so minus F means is it a file? Is it a file that exists, right? And then I'm negating it.
negating. I'm not familiar with that term.
It means it does the opposite. So while this, so I haven't made this file, so it doesn't exist. So this equates
Oh,
to
okay, got it.
right? So this shit up something done, right?
So until you until.
All right, hold up. Pause questions because we're doing disk writes and I'm not trying to fill up my disk. All right. So so here you can see Bash is writing 779 kilobits per second.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So and then I don't know how good the frame rate is here, but every now and then you see something pop up that says JBD2 right there to SDA2. Like here, let me see if I can. There we go. No, oh, hold on. Okay, it didn't work.
You might just have to print screen that because it's so fast.
There we go. So that right there.
Yep.
So and so that right there is what writes the data from a cache, a buffer to the disk. So when you're doing a disk test, like if you make your own disk test to try to do a speed test and see how fast your disks are, you're really writing to that buffer and into the disk, right? And it doesn't slow down until that buffer fills up, right? So the write to your disk is your bottleneck. But once that buffer fills up, you'll probably have like a gigabit per second that you can write to it. But once it fills up, I don't know how big the buffers are here. Let's see. It would be. Here's your buffer. So I've got 502 buffer, half a mega buffer. So that means I can write up to a gig at whatever super high speed goes to that buffer, and then this will pump it out at whatever speed it can pump it out to the disk. But once this buffer fills up, because this isn't able to keep up with what this is doing, then whatever is writing to that buffer is going to have to slow down to to that speed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mike? Huh? The use? Yeah, it has to slow down to the speed that the disk writing daemon writes to the disk.
So if the disk is a floppy disk.
Yeah, if it's a floppy disk, that's just gonna go slow as fuck. But that's gonna use a whole different thing. This is for the SCSI. That's why it says. So this is JBD to the SDA. So let's get it.
I more or less I understand. It's
And then here you're asking about that while statement.
well, right now what it's doing until you create a stop file.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and write my stop file and bam, done.
Now, okay, you overwritten the whole file.
I mean, there was no file there. I made it, and that's why it stopped.
So, all right, where was the shit writing to? Okay, so opt something is filled with shits.
Yeah.
Opt something is full of shit right now.
We are children at heart.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Yeah, it's not even registering on it's not even registering on IOTop. I wonder why. It's crazy. Oh, it's done now, but it wasn't even registering. Alright, what was that? Okay, so alright, so the sidetrack over. Let's go ahead and I wanted to show you guys how the disk writes are done. That's a very valuable thing when you're a Linux engineer and you're trying to diagnose a problem when somebody says something slow. And what to look for is when the two are going the same speed and they both stay up on the screen. Because the reason JBD kept disappearing off the screen is because it would write the disk and be done. The buffer would be clean and it would go away. But
Yeah.
they'll both be there and they'll both be going about the same speed. All right. So that came from swapping. So grub BIOS partition, right? And so we did that as /boot. Here is small one. We didn't use GPT. We used MBR. So your /boot, highly recommended, use this partition to store kernels and other booting information. To minimize potential boot problems with larger disks, make the first partition on your first disk drive. A partition size of 200 megabytes is quite adequate. We gave it what, 2 gigs?
Yeah.
You should never have a problem with that. /home. Typically what you would do with that is you would want that like mounted to your central file system. That way all your machines all have the same home folder.
Yes.
Yeah, that of course that make sure that backs up the cold backup. Because ransomware. I've never luckily had to deal with ransomware, and if y'all want to know my AV recommendation, check out Cylance. It's not signature based. It's behavior based. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it's good. Because it on some of the tests it scores so much. I haven't seen it in a few years, the test, but back when I first started using it, it was beating every other vendor, which was great. It's like Carbon Black. I don't know if any of you have ever used Carbon Black. It's like that.
I probably will in my next job, given which companies I interviewed with liked me. So my degree program has me working for 3 6-month periods interspersed throughout classes. So I did one job, and that was when I was the sysadmin, and now I'm waiting for my second job.
All right. So you just bought, since you wanted to tell us some life story. Go ahead and Read that.
The user partition.
Yes.
User. A separate user partition is generally used if providing a server for a thin client or deskless workstation. It is normally not needed for LFS. A size of 10 gigabytes will handle most installations.
Okay. And Mike, since
Yes,
you're gonna
sir.
have Mike, you're gonna go and give us /opt.
This directory is most useful for BLFS,
Which is
Where
Beyond Linux from scratch.
where multiple installations of large packages like GNOME or KDE can be installed without embedding the files in the user hierarchy. If used, 5 to 10 gigabytes is generally adequate.
All right. And Presmix /temp.
Presmic? No Presmic.
All right, JB.
No. I mean, I'm here. Was it temp?
Yeah, /temp.
Temp. A separate temp directory is rare, but useful if considering configuring a thin client. This partition. Okay. This partition, if used, will usually not need to exceed a couple of gigabytes.
All
It's a
right.
lie. Temp
So-
could be pretty big.
Yeah, so this is totally a lie because /temp is tempfs. It's like a temporary file system in RAM. That's why every time you reboot, it's gone. JB, you got user source. Okay. Any separate partition? Huh? What? What'd you say? Yeah, because that's where we're gonna build everything.
2.5. I'm not seeing it on Linux Foundation. Hang on a second. Let me do a control find. Hold up a second. I'm trying to. All right, I found it. Never mind. Disregard.
Okay. Creating file systems, ext2. Let's see, where should we start here? Suitable. So ext2 is suitable for small partitions that are updated infrequently, such as boot. So I always use ext2 on /boot. ext3 is an upgrade to ext2 that includes a journal. Remember, I was telling you all about the
Yeah.
journal to help recover the partition status in the case of an unclean shutdown. I'm sorry, I actually described the journal as the file table. So the journal is a list of transactions to the file. So it's like a file redundancy, or like, I don't know. The only thing that's popping in my head is a database transaction log. It helps recover the partition status in the case of an unclean shutdown. I feel like that. Yeah, that's where it was. Where it writes down what it was. Here, why am I trying to get so crazy? All right. EXT, what is a journal? I feel like that. Yeah, that's where it was. Where it writes down what it was. Keep track of your changes not yet committed to the file system's main part by recording the intentions of such data in a data structure known as a journal. EXT, what is a journal? I feel like that. Yeah. that's where it writes down what it was. Keep track of your change is not yet committed to the file system's main part by returning. That's what I was thinking. It would only keep track of the stored metadata, but I don't know how much you can restore from metadata. Alternatively, a journaling may track both stored data and so that right there could make me see you bringing stuff back online. But if you're only keeping track of stored metadata, then you can only really detect error. Whatever. So ext4 is the latest version. That's what we'll be using for our partition 3 over here for root. It provides several new capabilities, including nanosecond timestamp creation and use of very large, up to 16 terabytes, and speed improvement. Other file systems include FAT32, NFS, NTFS, RiserFS, JFS, and XFS. I think I mentioned earlier ButterFS, which is going into, I think, Fedora or SUSE, one of them. And then there's ZFS.
Those are for like extremely huge files, right?
Well, ZFS is more for very huge volumes across many disks. It like builds in the redundancy in your RTO and your RPO and all that riffraff. Hey, look, let's go ahead and I didn't want to click it. My bad. What happens when you use your wrong hand on the mouse? Come on, copy link. We're gonna do that in the chat. Let me have that later. So go check that out. I don't really want to go over that right now. So LFS assumes the root file system is type ext4. Create an ext4 file. So they're wanting root. So we're gonna go ahead and say, and when was that, right? So make fs.ext4. Oh yeah, sorry, I don't know how I just glossed right over that. So you don't have to do the make fs minus t ext4 because in the ext library that we talked about way up there when we were originally talking about the libraries, provides us with make fs.ext4. And so, but we'll still do the minus v for both, and so we'll say dev / sd3. SDB3. Let's just do that. Boom. All right. See how quick that was? It went and made some. It did some calculations. It wrote the inode tables. So the inode table is basic. So each pointer is called an inode, and so it's basically a table showing where files are in the volume. And then comes the journal. I guess it's only doing one journal. And then Superblocks. Now the inode table is the one they've got the front, the back, and the middle, just to make sure nothing goes wrong. And then Superblocks and file system accounting is where there's just a bunch of metadata. So we got that one. So did everybody get that command run?
Yep.
Put that in the chat real quick.
Yeah, put it in the chat, run it. Actually, I can just see it from here. So all you did was you did make question what make file system.ext4. The volume is got it. Okay, let me do that real quick. And this is our boot volume, correct?
No, this is root. We're doing ext4 for root.
Okay, let me do it. Make file system ext4 minus v dev SDB3. Awesome.
Okay.
And that's committed. That commits right away, right?
Yeah.
That's not staged or anything. Got it.
You can see it saying it's writing tables. You can put minus v anywhere. It's there's a library called gitarg that's just looking for those. I'm not saying every script ever supports that, but most of the scripts you find in like mainstream Linux support it. All right, and so now I'm doing the makefs.ext2, and I've got the this is what I'm going to use for my boot partition. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
Why not just use EX4 on everything?
I don't really know how to explain it. I think
What's
EXT
the difference, right?
a lighter file system and better for really small volumes.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was just wondering. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Just every OS I've ever been on, they usually do that one as ext2. So let's go ahead and do that. Boom. All right, and then we're gonna run the make swap. Let's do our fdisk minus L. All right, so our swap was gonna be that one. So make swap, and voila, we got some swap. All right, let me know when we're ready to move on to 2.6.
Ready to go.
Just give me 1 second. I'm making the swap right now. All right, so make swap. We still have to pass the volume, right? Minus V and then the SDB2.
I don't know. Does it have a minus V in there? Yeah, I don't see any minus V there. I just did make swap dev SDB2.
Got it.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and run this command. I'll let you just copy it out of there. All right. So real quick, I just want everybody to know what we just did with this export. I feel like so far everybody seems like they know. Well, you know what, Persmic, you didn't offer any feedback.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I just
I don't want you to fall behind, man.
I keep falling back because I have to reinstall everything. So don't worry about me. Just keep going. It's good.
Okay. All right. So other than him, dude, just make a backup of it when you build your system.
Oh, it happened again? Oh, snap, man. I think we should make all backups right now if that's the case.
Oof.
No, I have to reboot my system. Will let me like boot the VM won't let me like run the same VM. It was dumb.
Okay. All right. So there's this awesome little thing. It's in every programming language and every shell, and it's called your environment. Who here can explain to us what an environment is?
I can.
Yay.
An environment is the set of like global variables and configurations that program that is like set up at that moment in time. So like when you have like a virtual environment in Python, you can customize what is available to that programming and that to the programs which operate in that virtual.
Right, hold up. So you can customize it, but how do you list all your environment variables in that Python environment?
I don't know in Python, but I know how to list them in Bash.
It's dir, and then in the brackets you put what part of the. So you leave it blank for like root, which will show you like all the modules and stuff that are loaded. And say you want to look into the environment of one of those modules, you can say dir space and then and then in the parentheses the module's name. And yeah, I that's how I learned Python, was the back way through that. So I highly recommend you check that out whenever you can. But go on. You're on the right track. So go on and finish it off. You're about to get in the Bash world.
Yeah, and to see all the environment variables in Bash, you can use printen, printenv.
Oh, I was just gonna say env. Boom, env. Did you say print env?
Yeah.
It does the same thing, isn't it? That's weird. Well, you can shave off what, 4 letters?
Yeah.
5 letters. env. So on the top of my Bash scripts, I actually do this shebang /user/bin/env bash, and that makes it more universal to your environment. And I also do that with my Python scripts too. env Python. That way I'm not linking directly to like system Python or system bash.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So what did you export to the?
Yeah. So.
Oh, it's right there in front of my face. Hang on. So you're exporting the LF. Okay, Linux files. Linux from scratch is on Mount LFS. Got it.
There you go, right here.
Well, it's also on the page.
Yeah, but here it is in the environment after I've exported it.
Got it.
All right. So while we're on the topic of your environment, there's something important that you should know, and that's this one, path. All right. So this is the search path. Whenever you type a raw command, like that, a command, you see a command not found, it goes it starts here, search, right, into each of the folders, and if it doesn't find any, it's command not found. So say you make dir/op/bin, right, and I do. No, sorry, no, that's a do. All right. All right. So so if I moved out of that directory, so I'm no longer in there, right? So if I say do it, nothing will happen. Right? But if I go and export path equals my current path, right? And then so the path string is separated with colons. So everything is so you can see here there's a colon in between each item. So we're gonna separate our old path with our new part of our path, which is /op/bin. Right? So now that that's in my search path, if I say do it, hi Bob. I'm sorry? And path right there, localhost. Well, so here's the old path. Here's the old path right here that's highlighted. And here's the new path, which is the one I just made. So that's this path plus this op bin. And it's all separated by colon. Yeah. So I added that to the search path to find my executable. Yep. Or it has to be in the folder you're in. Well, actually, no, scratch that because you still have to do // to do that.
So pretty much you're concatenating the path.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. If you ever run something as a cron job, just know you should probably do a bash -L and then your command. That way you have an environment set.
I don't have high bob, by the way. Oh wait, let me echo. No, yeah, I don't have a high bob.
Oh, yeah, no.
Rick-
Look, I made this command called do it.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. To demonstrate
Okay, I
how
understand.
path works.
Got it. I thought it was literally it's like, okay, never mind.
All right.
The Shia LaBeouf command.
Huh?
The Shia LaBeouf command. I'm not. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know
So
Shia LaBeouf? He did Holes. He did Transformers.
Oh, yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. What about him?
There's like a meme of him going, "Do it." Like for
Oh
an
yeah. Just do it. All right, got it.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, programming jokes are weird.
All right. So everybody has this exported into their environment.
Yes.
JB. Okay. All right. Having this variable set is beneficial because we can just use this LFS in place of that. They say periodically you make sure that that's set. All right, so .bash profile here, right? So they're saying that we can make it persistent so that we don't screw shit up by forgetting to set this LFS variable. So they're directing us in the direction of this file right here. It's bash profile. Obviously, I don't have one. So what else do I have? All right, so bash RC, I've got that. So remember I mentioned the bash -L earlier for the login prompt.
Yeah.
So when you log in with bash, it goes in and it sources a couple files. First, it sources /etc/bash rc, which sources /etc/bash profile. Right, and then it goes and it sources your bash rc, which is in the current user's home directory .bash rc, which in turn calls, if it exists, .bash profile. And so in there, that's where you would go and you would set your path. So if you've got say you've got a folder with utilities in it that you're making, you want that always in your path. You would go in there path equals path : wherever my path is. And that way, every time you log in, it runs that and it's set. All right, everybody got that?
Yes.
More or less, yeah.
Pressmic, are you listening to us? No. Okay.
I am sorry.
You should feel a bit more interactive. Not everything requires to be in that machine.
Can you cat out that file real quick just to make sure my contents of it is the same? Cat out root -bash profile.
I don't have a bash profile.
Oh, okay, because it said VI. Okay, you never created the file then. Then bash RC. Okay, there's none in there. Okay, cool. Oh wait. No, wait. You actually canceled it out. So cat out bash RC. You pasted that in there. That was already there.
I catted it. Oh yeah, that's it. That's so this comes from, so whenever you create a user, it goes and it grabs these template files from Etsy Scale, right? So there's the template file. So whenever you create a new user, it moves these to the new user's home directory, makes it owned by the new user, and those are the templates.
Got it.
Mounting the new partition. Y'all ready to mount some partitions?
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's
so
get to S. Let's get to L trace.
that's a ways away.
Ha!
Now that a file system has been created, the partition needs to be made accessible. In order to do this, the partition needs to be mounted at a chosen mount point. For the purposes of the book, it is assumed that this file system is mounted under the directory specified by the LFS environment variable. Remember what we set that to?
Mount LFS.
Yes.
I meant to slash LFS.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go and mount. Yep. This is what I hate about Windows. That doesn't just work. All right. And we're mounting root. So let's do our fdisk minus L. To mount minus V minus T ext4 slash dev slash SDB3. All right, and then we're gonna set that to our LFS variable. All right, so now that means if we go into slash mount slash LFS, I can do a df minus H, and you can see we're mounted on SDB3. Everybody ready to move on?
Yeah, I give me a sec here. DF minus H. So you want to check how much is free? Oh, of the current directory. Okay, yeah.
But you see
Wait. Ah, fuck.
what?
Is my shit got mounted on root? So I probably am not in the right. Man, hang on a second. How do I undo this shit? Unmount. U mount, right?
Yeah, I don't know this is gonna end well. You should just reboot your machine.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
Like start over from like everything from scratch?
No. Just reboot it.
Give me a sec here. Oh, let me go to the other window. All right,
Like,
so
reboot it from VirtualBox because I don't know if your reboot command will work right.
okay, so let me not do that then. Machine, reset.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
and folks, don't ever just try to mount an empty disk to your root. So you're gonna have to re-export this LFS, all right, which was mount slash root or mount slash LFS.
Okay, I got disconnected. Let me get back in here. Let me
All right, and then so I'm gonna make dir slash mount LFS boot, and with that one we're gonna mount minus ext2. What's that one? That one slash dev sdb1 to slash. What did we say? LFS slash. Booyah. So you can see the two on the bottom of my DF. Come on, Mike, quit typing with 2 fingers.
Hey, I'm trying to make sure I'm not fucking this up this time.
All right, I'm gonna go get some water real quick.
Can't find F-stab. Oh, crap. What am I doing wrong?
All right, did you reboot?
Yeah, I did. It says it can't. It says it can't find an ETC F-stab.
FS tab?
Yeah, FS-tab.
Uh-oh. Where does it say that?
All right, so let me share my screen really quick, so that way you can see what's going on.
I think you just nuked your V-Box.
All right, so can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm doing mount minus
Sorry,
V.
I'm looking at my screen. I was like, that looks like my screen.
Huh.
You're looking at my screen.
Oh, sorry. Give me a sec. All right, how about this? How do you see? You see it now?
Yeah.
All right, so
Oh. All right. What are you doing? All right. So here, first echo, clear that out. Control C. Yeah. All right. Echo $LFS. All right.
oh, okay. So once it this is
Mount.
goes.
You're,
Got it.
I don't know
Got
what
it.
that
That
is.
makes sense. Got it. Just
Okay. All right. And then so make dir slash mount or make dir $LFS slash boot. Yep. And then so mount
friggin' swap is. I always see it.
See, I forgot where we could find. I have.
TCF stuff.
This chapter includes a list of packages that need to be downloaded in order to build it. List of
I do not have I do not have a .image file on mine.
Yeah. Oh. It doesn't matter. I was just showing that there's swap already there. But I don't know where it shows. You. Downloads locations may not always. The download location has changed since then. Google provides a useless search engine for most packages. All right, so let's go ahead and run this command.
Now, sources, or can you give me a high level overview of what that might be?
So this is where. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be downloading all the source files for everything we're building, and this is this is where we're gonna put those.
Got it.
It's writable and sticky. Sticky means that even All right, so interesting thing here, sticky bit means that even if multiple users have write permissions on a directory, only the owner can delete it.
And that's sticky bit.
Yep. Which is the T. This.
Got it.
Hold up, pause. So everybody knows what chmod does, right?
Yes.
JB?
Change the permissions.
For stable versions of this book, it's horrible of all that can be downloaded from one of the LFS mirrors listed here. Alright. Right. Okay, so they're claiming they got a gigabit, so I'm gonna grab that, and we're doing 10.0. Okay. Did I get the wrong one? I need that one. And they ain't up to date. Damn, he's only got up to 9.1. Alright. What about Russia at 100 megs? 9.1. Codes at a bit. LFS 10, but we don't get 10 system D. Uh-huh. Oh, okay, we can just grab them from where they're at on the book. Alright. So, grab this. We're gonna... There we go. So, here's the link. You don't feel like looking for it. Um, So we shouldn't have to go through here and click all these. All we have to do is, all right. So that link that I gave you for wget list. Is everybody got that downloaded?
Hang on a second. Let me find the list. Fuck. Sorry.
Doesn't bother me.
And if you all need to,
Okay. I thought someone said they had kids around or something.
and if you guys need to, I got the address,
Yeah.
the
No,
website.
oh, okay. You said
the
the
description.
kid inside of us or something like that.
I got the website in the description
Cool.
of this
You're
manual that we're
journaling
following.
something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following along.
All right.
Finally got my system up, so I'll be catching up.
I feel like you could just copy and paste half this stuff. We're just going slow to just go over and try to understand what's really going on.
All right.
Crap, man, I have so many freaking windows.
So, like I was trying to say, guys,
So let me create a file. Nano.
like I was saying, guys, I had to mute them off. I'll be if you want to follow along, just go to the in the description. I have the website where you can pretty much follow along step by step of what we're doing. This is just a deep dive because we have some experts on Linux on here pretty much who are going through and going deep dive on everything. Actually, in the initial part of this, we had like some very crazy deep dives on like the information things on what packages and things of that nature, but didn't get to capture that part of it. But I was over at his place earlier, but I figured I want to come back here and stream it live. So anyways, nonetheless, I'm pretty sure we'll go over everything we did in the beginning. I'll probably make a separate video to go over stuff that we probably missed and maybe build one from scratch that we weren't able to catch that I didn't record. So anyways, let's continue.
That an error occurred, and 501 is a gateway error. Or is that a 401? That might be a 401.
The 500 block has to do with the server.
Yeah.
Yeah. 502 is the gateway.
All right.
Like
here.
300, the 300 block, the 200 block is successful. The 300 block is usually redirect. The 400 block is like resource not found or resource you don't have access for that resource. The 500 block is usually like something's wrong with the server.
Yeah, 501 not implemented. So 502 is bad gateway. So, yeah, these two are really scary. Gateway timeout is kind of scary too. But yeah, no, 503 is the scariest usually.
I'm gonna make a quick phone call. I'll just catch up to you guys.
Okay.
No problem. I mean, it's going to be a little bit before these files download anyway.
Oh, mine are done. How are yours? I got 88 files.
Oh, I'm nowhere near that. Then again,
I got 88 files at 423 megabytes in 1 minute 7 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just going to configure it without showing it right now, catching up. That way, I won't interfere with what they're showing on screen. I'll be following along with them as well. So yeah, like I said, I'll do another video to where I'll show try to run through everything that we did and to where we finish at
They had
for
us
the day.
download 5.8.3.
But yeah, we'll get back to it.
Yeah, I'm only on BZip right now.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's right. You
Internet-
were saying your internet's slow.
in this neck of the woods. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you?
I'm up.
All right. So oh, do you need some help with something? All right, so this wget list link here, you download that. You can just wget it and make sure it's called wget list, and then run this command here. But you got to make sure this LFS is exported and that this is all mounted. When you get there, I'll walk you through some. And see if you can hurry up, because we're about to take a break. Maybe I can help you on that. You can catch up. Alright. There we go. Total size of these patches is about 204.4 kilobytes. In addition to the above required patches, there exist a number of optional patches created by LFS community. Feel free to peruse the patches database and acquire any additional patches that suit your needs.
And we'll be right back. I'm not sure what just happened.
Oh, here's all you know. No, use it as
Okay,
root
there we go.
people. Let's see. Create an unprivileged user to reduce risk and create an appropriate build environment. I hate when they feel like they have to protect us from ourselves.
Okay, to be fair, I've done some dumb things and may actually be protected from myself. I once was setting up a firewall and I locked myself out.
What?
I once was setting up a firewall and locked myself out.
Oh, I've done that a few times. And you know what sucks worse is when you do it and it's on a machine that's on site 500 miles away.
Whoop.
And
Yep.
it's somebody you can just go and send there and say, hey, can you do this and get me in? It's like, nah, you gotta just get on this. You gotta just send them a new box and have them send you that one back.
Yeah, no, I once totally borked SSH from my work machine on the other site to my remote workstation. I had to stop working until my boss could find someone who was actually authorized to enter the building during the pandemic to reboot it. And he was like, "Oh my god."
I guess when they get their screen back on, we'll put them back up. So I guess their stream is disconnected, so we'll get it back up later. Because you guys are stuck with watching me.
So how's that download going?
I'm on Elf Utils.
You're on what?
Elf Utils.
Elf Utils. Alright. And yo, Mike, I hope you started that download before you got on that call. He's got gigabit internet too, so.
Say again.
I hope I hope you started that download before you got on that call.
Oh yeah, the big list. Yeah, I did.
All right, and is it downloading? Is it done?
Probably. I have pretty fast internet. Hang on, let me walk back to my computer.
Mine says 88 files in 1 minute 7 seconds.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, it's all done.
Nice. All right. I just didn't want you to have to do it later.
It would have been unfortunate.
I just gotta take a break, man. I can't stare at the screen for that long and sit down.
Oh.
My brain is friggin'. I have ADD too, bro. So, but hey, when do we start getting into the like that? Because from what I understand right now, we're still inside of Ubuntu, right?
Yeah, so we're building up our file system right now.
Got it.
So what we just downloaded was all the packages that we're going to need to use to build that environment. And now we're about to make our /bin/etc/lib/sbin/user/var.
So that doesn't come already pre-installed with Ubuntu server?
It does, but not on this new volume.
Oh, now I understand. Yeah, okay, now I understand. Got it. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Got it. All right. You guys gonna do that right now? Cause I could just catch up. Like I could read up. So I just need to take a small, like, I don't know, 15-minute break. So you guys can just go on without me, and I'll just catch up.
Why don't we all just take a recess? I'm gonna go make me a pork chop. I don't know what y'all are gonna do, and then I don't know. I'll just ding y'all when I come back.
All right, yeah, sure.
Or we'll just come back in. It's 4:50 now. 5:20.
Sounds good.
Mike, 5:20.
5:20. Okay, 6:20 here Eastern time. Okay, yeah, that's good.
All right, JB.
All right.
That'll give you some time to do your thing, JB. Right? All right, cool. I'm gonna make a pork chop. See ya.
See ya.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to end this stream right here, and I'll start another stream, call it part 2 or whatever. In the meantime, I'm going to be give me a snack too and catch up. So, yeah, again, I'm going to do another video stream and just do everything from scratch from the very beginning, and that way everybody can be caught up. Anyways, we're going to end this one right here.